God is prayer.
Hello everyone, Mr. Economics here, ready to demystify another economic concept. Today we are going to talk about something which affects each one of us, whether you realize it or you don't realize it. Today we are going to talk about inflation and why it is a silent tax on our hard-earned income. We all feel it, right? Yeah. You go to the market and the price of goods and the services which you are buying, they are creeping up. The price of maize flour goes up, fuel fluctuates, rent goes up. This is not just a coincidence, it is just the power of inflation. And most importantly, what does the government supposed to do when we are in this situation so that to protect our purchasing power? At its simplest form, inflation is when the prices of goods and services, they are rising up, and consequently the currency is falling down in its purchasing power. Think like this: your 1,000 Kenyan shilling today is purchasing less than it did 1 year ago, and that is the power of inflation in action. So what caused it? Number one, we are going to start with demand pull inflation. And demand pull inflation, it happens when the demand of goods and services exceed the supply of goods and services in the market or in the economy. And this can happen when the government increases its spending, or when the trade union negotiate with the farms or with the companies, factory, to raise the wages and the salary of its employers. Now here, the employers or the people, they are going to have more of income in their pocket. Once they have that income, the demand of goods and services, it is going to increase because they have more of the disposable income in their pocket. Yet the production of goods and services, they have not been increased. Now what will happen is that people, they will demand more of goods because they have more of enough money to purchase these goods and services. Yet here in the market, the production of goods and the supply, they have not been increased. What will happen is demand pull inflation, because the sellers, all the business people, they are going to take this as an advantage to raise the prices of goods and the services. Yet it will lead to inflation. Number two, we are going to look at cost push inflation. And this cost push inflation, it happens when the cost of operation is high. Let's take an example like this. The inputs, they are high. The inputs which they are producing the output, they are expensive. Once the farms, they have produced these goods and services from this input, which they incurred them with higher cost, when this output, they are going to be supplied to the market by the farms, all the companies which have produced them, they must increase the prices in order to at least get a profit. And that is how cost push inflation happen. Number 3 cause of inflation is expectation. If people expect the price of goods to increase, they might also demand for higher wages, and this will lead to the farms or the companies where these employers or people they have demand for higher wages, they will increase the prices of goods and services which they are producing, so that even if they increase the salary of the workers which they are going to pay them, they are going to increase that price of their goods and services, so that even if they pay higher wages to these workers, they are going to recover the cost, and that will lead to inflation. Now, a retro inflation is just considered as good to the economy because it just encourages saving, and also it encourages spending in the economy. And that is why most of the Federal Reserves, all the central bank of the country around the world have just set an inflation rate of 2 to 3%. But when it gets out of control, it can be devastating to the economy. Here is why inflation is the silent tax. Number 1, it erodes saving. Here's why. You have saved your money in the bank. If the inflation rate is 10% and the interest which you are getting is 3%, it means that you are losing your money at the rate of 7%, and this is your buying power which your money is losing. Number 3 is that it increases uncertainty. Here, businessmen and the investors, they resist to invest because they don't know how, they don't realize how the future is going to look like when they don't predict the cost or the prices of goods in the future. Hence, this will lead to slow down economic growth and job creation. Number 4 is that it eats fixed income hardest. Retirees on pension, all people with fixed income, they keep on finding their real income shrinking always the time when we are having inflation. So, what is government, or more specifically, the central bank, is supposed to do in order to control this silent thief called inflation? They have powerful tools in their docket. Number 1 tool is that they can use monetary policy. Number 2, they can also apply fiscal policy. Let us start with monetary policy. Monetary policy is where the central bank is given authority to control the money supply in the economy. And let us now look how this monetary policy can be applied in order to control inflation. Number 1 is to increase the interest rates. When the interest rates they have been increased, it means that they are going to discourage more of the borrowers who want to borrow money. They are going to be discouraged to borrow that money from the banks, because if you are going to borrow, you are going to earn that money with high interest. Later, at the end of the day, when you are going to repay back your loan, when the interest rate is high, it is going to discourage. Hence, it decrease the money supply from the economy. Number 2, they can apply what we call open market operation, where the government or the central bank is going to sell bond. And when it is going to sell bond, it means that they are redeeming the bond. Here is how it works when the central bank sell bond. It means that you as a person, you are going to buy that pond. If you want to buy the pond, you are going to buy it from the government. And buying pond, it means that if you want to buy that pond, it means that you as an individual, you are going to lend money to the government, where you are going to sign an agreement that I have given you this amount of money, I want it at a certain period of time. You agree that I am going to lend money to the government, and after a certain period of time, let's say 2 to 3 years, I am going to demand my money back. And that is how the bond works. And when the government sell bond, it means that it is people, they are going to buy bond by lending the money to the government with a certain agreement that you are going to be paid your money back. And when government or the central bank applied this tool of monetary policy by open market operation of selling bonds to the people, as we have seen that buying bond is when you as an individual, you are going to lend money to the government by signing an agreement down that I have rendered you this amount of money and I want that money at a certain period of time. And when the government do that, or the central bank do that, it means that it is going to decrease the money from the economy, and this is going to help to curb down inflation, because there is not going to be enough money in the pocket of people who are going to demand more goods. Hence, we are not going to have that type of inflation, which is called demand pull inflation. And the truth is, the government has helped to curb or to reduce inflation from the society. Number 3, monetary policy can be applied to reduce inflation through by increasing the reserve ratio. The reserve ratio is a certain amount of money that the central bank install to the commercial bank. Reserve ratio is a certain fraction amount which have been set by the central bank to the commercial bank, where commercial bank are supposed to keep that fraction in their cash balance, and they are not supposed to lend it to their depositors. When the central bank increase reserve ratio, it means that commercial bank, they will have less to lend it out to its depositors who want to borrow money from the bank. And this will also control or slow down the rate of inflation. And that is all about monetary policy. Let us now go to fiscal policy. How the government can use fiscal policy in order to control this difficult inflation. Fiscal policy. Number 1, government can decrease of government spending, where it will decrease unnecessary spending of the government, which are not further too much to the economy. And this will decrease the inflation rate when they are going to decrease those certain expenditure which they are not adding any value to the economy, or which they are not the priority. Number 2, they can increase taxes. When there is increase in taxes, it means that the salary which you are going to get as an individual is going to be taxed high. And when it is going to be taxed high, you are going to be lived with a certain salary which have been decreased. And this will enable people in the economy not to spend too much on the demand, and this will curb the inflation. And also it can provide subsidy. The government can provide subsidy during the time of inflation. When the government provides subsidy during the time of inflation, it is going to curb that inflation or to decrease the rate of inflation. Government subsidy can be provided whereby the government can give a certain amount of money to the manufacturers in the terms of the inputs which they are going to purchase of the output. Yet, if the government is going to give these people the subsidy, it means that the products, the farms, or the company which they are going to produce, they are going to sell to the people at a lower price, since the government have provided them a subsidy which have already lowered their cost of operation. Also them, they are going to supply goods and services to the economy at a lower price, and this will reduce inflation in our economy. And when government apply these tools to reduce the rate of inflation in the economy, it is supposed to be a delicate act, not too much cold, not too much hot, because when they are going to apply too much increase of taxes and decrease of government spending, it may lead to decrease in investment, and the people, they are going to lose jobs, and this can lead to recession. It must be an act of not too much cold and not too hot. Understanding inflation is not all about economic theory. It is all about protecting your financial future. And thank you for this far. See you soon.